Hey everyone. I want to talk to you today about networking 2.0 and networking everything, and I mean everything. We founded the company with the idea to enable people, entities, and things to be safe on the internet. The internet's something that's transformed the world, there's no doubt, but it's also a very scary place. And we see every day people being attacked, and we don't want that to happen to people. We also see this world where everything that we do is being monitored, this surveillance economy. That doesn't seem to be the way that's not the world that I'd like to be lived in, and we want to make sure that people can connect freely without being surveilled. So I want to take you to the future. So imagine for a moment you're moving to the future. Maybe it's not as far into the future as you might imagine, but into the future nonetheless. And you've just pulled up your application on your phone, and it's a Mercedes application, and you want to have a car, you want to get across town, and the car turns up. Doesn't have a driver. And you take the option, you know what, I'm going to do it old school, I'm going to drive this time. So you're driving the car, and then all of a sudden the car starts talking to you. And it's a familiar face, and a familiar voice, and it's your own personal AI. And your AI has tracked where you are, saw what time it is, knows where you're heading with your schedule, you're going to cross town, and thinks, hey, you probably need a coffee by now, and would you like me to get a coffee? And you say, yeah, I'd love a coffee, that'd be great. But I wonder if there's any possibility of meeting up with Jen along the way. And your personal AI gets back to you and says, yeah, let me find out. A minute later, your personal AI gets back to you and says, hey, Jen can meet you at this coffee shop. Would you like me to drive there? And you've never been to that coffee shop before. So hell yeah, you'll let the car drive you there. You meet up Jen there. Jen's sitting there already with a coffee. Your coffee's waiting on the side. Somehow your AI must have recorded and found out what your favorite coffee was, and told the coffee shop what it was, and it's ordered, and it's nice and warm waiting on the side. You have a conversation with Jen, life's good, you get on with your day. Sounds good, right? Sort of good, apart from if you're the IT guy that has to make all that happen. Anybody in here have to do IT? Yeah, well, it sounds magical, but if you're the IT guy, this is what's going through your head at the moment. Terrifying. How do you get all those systems to talk to each other? That's a big problem. How do you get all those systems to talk to each other safely? That currently is an impossible problem. And that is what worries me. We're at a crossroads. And it's to do a little bit about AI, but it's about all the other systems that are ridiculously complicated at the moment. In particular, networking. And in the financial world where I come from, we also tend to talk about consolidation. And we have down one road, huge consolidation, where all those magical interactions with technology get owned by larger and larger mega corporations. So it should be no surprise to you that Apple may well be looking at creating a car, because they want to have an Apple car. And everything would work within the Apple environment. It wouldn't surprise me if Google start making a car, because then everything would be in the Google environment. That is mildly terrifying, because in my story, Mercedes has to play along as well, and they have to consolidate, and they have to go by other companies to create the Mercedes environment, so you can have that. And none of those will interoperate, because it's all about being the platform. I don't think any of us really want that to happen, but if we don't do something, then that's what we're up against. What we really need to do is go down that other world where you can network all these things together from a technology perspective, safely and securely, and allow that innovation to happen. If you want to have a Mercedes or a three-wheeler or a two-wheeler, we don't care. You make those choices. The platform doesn't make that choice for you. The thing that's holding that back, the decision we've got to make is, are we going to adopt a platform, network, not too sure which it is. There's lots of words that are missing in this world, so we called it networking 2.0. So this is an abstraction of the internet that allows you to safely communicate between people, entities, and things, and where people know for sure who they're talking to, and they know for sure that no mega corporation can surveil what they're doing and who they're doing it with. It also happens to be way less complicated. And way less complicated means way less expensive. And way less expensive means all your ideas for your cities, your towns, your communities can actually happen. So why is there a network protocol? Well, network protocols allow you to do things where you can communicate and make sure that things are end-to-end encrypted. And that means no surveillance. If you have a web server, if you have an email server, whoever's running the server can see all your data. Sorry if you didn't know that, and it's a big surprise, but if you have an email address, whoever's running your email server can see all your data. It should be terrifying. We seem to put up with it. I'm not too sure. If we had a new network protocol that didn't allow that, then that would be good. That's essentially what we've invented. Network protocols need addresses. It doesn't matter whether it's any network protocol. If it's a network protocol for the network of the mail system, then you need an address. You need a mailing address, right? The IP network of the internet is no different. You have an IP address. It's sort of hidden a little bit through what we call DNS. So DNS is, I know, in my case, bbc.com is the address I know. It gets translated to an IP address, and away we go. We haven't got that really in any other sort of physical network, but maybe we should. So addresses are pretty interesting. We've never had a protocol that could allow us to have an address of addresses. So that's what we include in our network protocol, the app protocol. So if somebody asks me, what's your phone number? My answer is @Colin. If somebody asks my email address, it's @Colin. If somebody asks me my work email address, it's @Colin. And what about my bank account number and my routing number? It's @Colin. Everything's @Colin. And I own that data. And when you ask for that data with your @sign, I can say, yes, you can have it, or no, you can't. And the beauty of that in the web world is no more form filling. Wouldn't that be great? The one thing that stops most commerce on the internet is filling in stupid forms. And this just eradicates that because it's already stored. You only store it once, and you allow people, you disallow people. It has to be private, so any communication between an @sign and an @sign is encrypted end to end, and you own the keys. Nobody else owns the keys, you own the keys. And probably most important, when somebody asks a question, you know who it is who is asking the question before you have to give an answer, which means you don't have to give the same answer to a different person. Somebody can ask you exactly the same question, like, location @Colin. Yeah, I'm in India. That's all you need to know. Or if Bala asks, what's your location? I can say, well, I'm in the ballroom, and he can come meet me, because context matters. And we've never had that in a protocol. It's a very human thing, but we've never had that in a protocol ever. So what? Well, let's go back to those coffee participants. If they all had @signs, so they've all got their own data, they own all their own data, they could be connected via a network protocol. How do we do that? Well, everybody owns their own keys. There's a microservice out on the internet, and that is your butler to the internet. The interesting thing is, though, that the server holds data that's always encrypted with keys it never has. So whoever's running that server cannot see your data because they never have the keys. It's that simple. You own your keys. So if you're using our protocol, all those coffee participants can talk end-to-end encrypted. All we really need to do is network them together. So we network them together, and they have a language to talk between all those different nodes. And that language could be, we've been talking about beacon a lot here, that could be beacon. There's absolutely no reason to do that. It's a way to talk universally across people, entities, and things. But it could be natural language. It could be anything. It doesn't matter. So what does this change? We believe everything. So we made sure that everything can be changed. Everything we do is open source. Everything is available for free on the internet right now. And it means you could use agriculture, payments, air travel, chronic disease, retail, smart cities, fleet management, clinical research. The list goes on and on and on. We have written software, so there's SDKs. Everything's ready to go. We can support everything. Thank you very much. You can see me. My Atsign really is at Colin. If you go to wavy.ng and type in Colin, you can see data that I own on a web page. So it is real. Go look it up. Come speak to us. Thank you so much.